Welcome back to Roll Again. I am DM Steve, and we are back for session 8 of Haunted Heroes campaign. I will start off with some introductions around the horn here. Let's start with you, Francis. Why don't you give us a quick introduction?
Hello, I'm Kay. I play Francis Forge, the Dampier artillerist, and overall pain in the ass to most people, and possible alcoholic. I pass it on to you, Rowan.
I am the great Rowan, probably one of the great detective in this campaign. Only detective. And I'll pass it down to the legendary Cricket.
I'm Cricket Valentine, and I am an eternal child, which is just fine by me. And I'm I have Homunculus Crash, who is my dog and helper, and I love poison. And I'm gonna throw it over to Lupe.
I am Kira. I play Lupe the Scarred Wolf, a reborn arcane physician who is gloomy but kind, and also turns out afraid of being underground.
All right, where we left off last, your whole group had dropped down to the 4th level of this kind of dungeon mine where the Razor's Edge Mining Company had used to mine amber, but now it's been taken over partially, at least, by these ant creatures. And so you are looking to try to help as well as get through the mountain. So you started on level 5, and now you've dropped down to level 4. You ran into a few different creatures that you had to fight. You fought off a few ant fighters, as well as some traps that you had to deal with. You lost poor Anthony. We knew you well, Anthony. But then you picked up Antoine, who you have with you now. Yes, so welcome, Antoine, the ant zombie that you've picked up. And then you also ended up running into what looked like kind of a dwarf zombie magic user. It looked like one of the dwarves that had died, but it seemed to be being puppeted or controlled. And you ended up in a fight with it, which you did win. And then Cricket ended up taking its magic ring and sticking it on her finger. And so she has now the ring of Grammarian. And that's kind of where you guys left off. You left off right in front of doors that had been barred off from this side. So pieces of blanks of wood and some rocks and rubble and like an old mine cart had all been stuck in from this side of the doors that you're facing. What would you like to do?
I would like to examine the dwarf's body and see if I can figure out how he may have been being controlled.
Sure, give me a medicine check for that.
Ah.
Or arcane. You could go whichever one's higher for yourself.
22.
22. All right. Which ones did you use? Arcane or medicine?
Arcana.
Arcana.
It's 1 point higher.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like you after inspecting the body for a few minutes, you do notice that the eyes are glistening in black, which are not normal dwarf eyes, obviously, but they do look an awful lot like the ant's eyes. And you know that the ants seem to have a hive mind or are controlled mainly by a queen.
So how did they make them ant-like? Is there an ant skull on him? Is there... Can't blood in him?
DM.
Yeah,
We're only gonna go over there. And I'm gonna do an investigative check to see if they're like anything they put inside his mouth or whether any bite mark of any kind.
sure.
Could be a parasite in the brain.
21.
Common.
21. You don't see anything that, I mean, there's some bruises and slashes and bangs, but it seems to be from your fight with this thing. Remember you had Antoine was holding it and hitting it at the same time. So it seems to be, it doesn't seem to be any kind of bites or punctures or anything.
What about the mouth? Like, did they like, put anything down his throat or anything?
Not that you could check. I mean, you looked, well, you had a pretty good roll, but you looked with your hands a little bit and kind of what you could see, and nothing that looked awkward, out of place.
Let's cut him open.
Yeah, full autopsy. Let's do it.
All right.
Do.
Okay, who's gonna do that?
I got an
Uh,
18.
I'm gonna give Lupe the help action.
Okay, so Lupe, that means
Yeah.
you give me a medicine check with advantage.
Antoine is also gonna help us too. He's a little ant nurse.
Make that 18 to 20 then.
Okay. You guys, you take out your physician's kit and you kind of start to slice them open a little bit. Tell me kind of what you do. Instead, I'm not going to tell you. You tell me, how do you go about doing an autopsy on a dead dwarf?
All right. Rowan is gonna offer maybe there is some type of brain parasite in his skull. We can start with the stomach. If there's nothing, not the stomach, the hell. No, we can start with the head. If there's nothing there, we can probably cut down the middle.
The head, definitely. Pop out the eyes, cut open and check the brain. Double check, make sure the mouth looks normal. Then probably cut open his stomach, see what's in his stomach. Lungs probably aren't important. Skip that. Intestines.
Are there any body parts in that stomach, Lupe? Did it eat anybody recently?
I'm digging around. I'm looking.
There are no body parts in the stomach. There's not much in the stomach, to be honest. It looks like this dwarf's been dead for a number of days at least. And everything seems to run with that. A lot of the stuff looks dead and kind of like it's starting to rot a little bit as you do this autopsy. The one thing that does jump out at you though is that when you cut open the skull and you look at the brain seems to be less decayed and dying than the rest of the body.
Can I make a, let's say, arcana check to see what could be keeping it alive, if it's magical base or if it's some type of method? Yeah.
You can, but Lupe already did a 21 for Arcana, and all she got out of it was just the eyes that were the same color as the ants.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm gonna take the eyes with us.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Lupe, do we know the cause of death of this dwarf?
The original cause of death?
Yes.
It looks like
Am I
he may have been poisoned by the ants. It looks like he does have bite marks like on his legs and stuff, but nothing up near like his neck or his head or anything. Bite and scratch marks basically from claws. And you do notice as you're cutting through, he does also have what looks like it was probably the killing blow. Looks like a stab wound from a weapon, probably something similar to the double-ended glaive that the warrior ants were using.
Is there any sort of identifying thing on his clothes? Or in his clothes, any insignia, any not sure, just anything that is not just regular cloth.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make you roll for that. You're kind of elbow deep in this guy right now, so it's pretty pretty easy. And you do see an insignia that you recognize. It's 3 hammers next to one another, which you guys know is the insignia of the Razor's Edge Mining Company. It's the same insignia that Captain Leadshield, Jaffrock Leadshield had on his shield and on his stuff, and you saw it kind of all over the place up on the upper level with the dwarves. So also the same insignia that was on the door into the mines when you guys first entered.
Is it on his clothes or on, like, what's it on?
It's
not
on
brand-
like you see it like on a belt buckle, and you know he has it like on a patch kind of thing on his shoulder, so it's pretty clear. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna take the patch, belt buckle, and eyes.
Okay.
I'll write down everything I found and cast presentation to clean me and myself off.
Okay.
And Lupe.
All right. Lupe is clean as well then.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
Cool. I like being clean. Not really.
All right. So you guys are clean, and you have a dismantled dwarf body on the floor. You've taken the eyes and the belt buckle
The patch,
and the what?
the patch.
Oh, and the patch. Yeah, you've taken the patch as well. So yeah.
It smells like dead dwarf in here. Should we keep going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's investigate this room real quick and just see if there's anything of use or that might tell us anything.
You said this room was like blocked off and stuff, like some of the doors are boarded up.
Yeah. Yep. Not from the way you came. Remember, the other side of this room was where you entered was the room that had blades that came up through the floorboards.
Great job, by the way.
And then this room looks like it was kind of maybe a dining room type thing. There's a couple tables and things, but there's nothing special about them. You guys kind of started to look when you first came in before the dwarf popped out from behind one of the tables.
I think we should unbar one of the doors and move that way. It's possible the ants barred these doors against the dwarves who are trapped down here. I just hope it's not more earthen tunnels.
I tell Antoine to open the door, to like bring down the door, basically open it.
Okay. Give me a strength check for Antoine.
Antoine.
So
You
give
have
me
the-
just
the skull.
yeah,
have
give
the
me just a basic 20.
8.
8. So he claws at these things for a few minutes, and he managed to get some of the rocks pulled away and a little bit of the beams, the wooden beams that have been laid across, but it's taken him a while. I mean, he's got 4 arms, but they're not super strong.
Come on, Antoine, use that backbone. And I go over there and I help him out.
Okay. With your help, it takes you guys about probably 5-10 minutes, and you're able to pull away most of the stuff. You know, some of it too is just he's an undead servant now, so there's not a whole lot up here. So a lot of it was just like rolling the cart out of the way, right? Instead of trying to tug it. And like, you know, when you go in and actually look at it with a thinking brain, it's pretty easy to kind of unblock the door. He was kind of going at it as you know, sort of like an animal would go at something that they didn't really understand. Yeah.
Sorry.
I just pat him on the back. All right. So is the door clear now?
Yeah, the door is clear. It's double doors. They're
Oh,
double doors, yeah, that have been locked up.
Are we worried about more traps on the floor? Do we want to throw rocks or something again?
We should probably
Yeah.
investigate the next room before we go in. You're right.
Better
I
safe
have an
than
idea
sorry.
this time if we need to get across.
I open up the double doors and I cast light just in case it's dark so I can see better.
Okay. You're looking down. It's actually the double doors open up and there's stairs that are they're kind of carved out of dirt, but there's stairs that are going down towards the next level.
I describe everything to the group. All right, guys.
Lupe, are you all gonna be all right with this?
I don't know. I don't know. Do we have more courage potions?
Maybe if you close your
I
eyes.
can try. It's random which one it lands on, but I can try to make one. Yeah. DM, can I do that?
You
I
can
have
try to
lots of
make one,
flash.
yeah.
All right. And we got a 5, which is flight.
Ooh,
You could fly down the stairs and feel so free.
Hmm.
You can
Nope.
You
can
get it for
close your eyes and hold on to me while we go down.
All right.
Darkness.
All right, so
Or
who's going, what's the order of people going down?
Antoine first. Someone can go after him.
Antoine first.
I'll
Okay,
go
who's gonna
down
go?
after Antoine.
Cricket?
I will.
I'm gonna be in the back.
Oh, so all right, so Antoine, Cricket, and then who?
I'll go
Francis
after
Lupe?
Cricket.
Francis Lupe, because you guys are together, and then Rowan is going. Okay, so starting with Antoine. Antoine, this will be actually for him. I'm going to say this is going to be a dexterity saving throw for everybody. But first, start with Antoine. Give me a roll. Roll me a 20 and add 2 to it. Rowan.
Ooh, 18.
Okay, Antoine is good. Cricket, you're next. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Whoops. Oh, I got a 20.
Oh, nice. Well, you're sure-footed and you're quick too, because you have that youthfulness. Francis, give me a dexterity saving throw.
I got a 7.
Okay, Lupe. Lupe, give me one at disadvantage because you're holding on to Francis.
I figured 8.
Okay, and Rowan. Give me one at disadvantage as well because you're behind the two of them.
Damn. I think 14.
14. Okay. Antoine and Cricket start just going down the stairs. Antoine's kind of shuffling like a zombie, and Cricket's just kind of bouncing down the stairs behind Antoine. And then Francis, you and Lupe start to come down, and all of a sudden you feel something give. And Francis and Lupe holding on to you, the two of you and Rowan each get sucked into the earth.
No.
Like quicksand, but faster. And Cricket, you turn around and there's just nobody there except for little piles where they got pulled into the dirt.
You've been grounded.
Okay.
You probably screamed on the way
Can
down.
I try to do?
I can't scream.
Can
when
I
you're
try to do a? Can I try to do a spell or something to save them?
They're gone. They're underneath. So what I'm going to say is, Rowan, you find yourself completely in the ground. It's almost like you've been buried alive. There's dirt everywhere, and you've just been sucked
No.
into the ground. And you're trying to move. Francis and Lupe, you both are in the same situation, except you're still holding on to each other. So Lupe, you can still feel Francis's arm there, but you guys are like, I don't want to say buried alive for Lupe's sake, but it's very much like, you know, you've been basically sucked into the dirt, into the stairs.
I'm in full panic mode. I just, not again, not again, not again.
Okay, I'm gonna.
If it's still right side up, I want to see if I can get my hand up a bit and try to do firebolt up through the dirt.
Okay, give me a strength
Yeah,
check to see if
try
you
it.
can get your hand up that high.
All right. Another 7. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, so I'm gonna say you're struggling. You get it about maybe to here, and that's about as far as you can. You guys, you dropped in, and I mean, it's
Okay.
yeah. You're
I'm gonna cast presentation to play some intense music, so y'all know my location and that I'm still
Okay.
alive.
Cricket. You hear? Give me a perception.
15.
You-
Wait. +2.
17. Okay. So you hear a very, very faint music playing. Because
Okay.
they're like 10 feet down.
Can I help? Okay. I'm gonna cast fairy fire, except I'm gonna use my ring to cast fairy wire.
Okay. All right. And where are you
Clever.
casting it at?
Down on the last step where I saw Rowan, because I think he'd be stronger to help me get the other two out,
Okay.
and I can hear his music.
You cast
So
fairy wire using your ring of grammarian, and this multicolored rave looking cord kind of flings out of the ring, you know, from your hand, and it's multicolored. It almost looks like a glow. It's like those glow necklaces, but it's very long, and it kind of, it almost looks like a whip at first, and then it fires down into it's not really a hole, it's kind of a mound, almost like an ant hole is what's left from where each of the three of them went in, but it fires down to where you saw Rowan.
I'm glad I did my homework.
All of a sudden you feel this almost like snake thing come down around your like on your shoulder. It's like touching your shoulder and in your neck area. So give me
I'm
a
yelling, grab
strength
it, Rowan!
check. If you give me a strength check if you're going to try to move to try to grab a hold of it.
I heard cricket, right? Tell me to grab it.
You hear muffle. You hear because you got, like I said, there's about 10 feet of dirt between you and her.
Okay. All right. Strength checked. Just a strength check. No. 19.
All right. You are able. You kind of do one of these, like this, with your arms, and you're able to kind of grab a hold of this thing you feel. As soon as you grab a hold of it, it feels very warm to the touch, and you can tell that it's not a snake or anything like that. You're being an arcane cleric, you can tell that it's magic of some sort. And Cricket, around the same simultaneously as he's doing this, all of a sudden you feel a little bit of a tug, almost like you're fishing, and you caught a fish. So now here's the thing. You've got Rowan with your fairy wire spell. Now let's see if you can pull him up. Because you are a 7-year-old.
But I got Crash and I got Antoine.
Yes, you do have
Okay.
Antoine. You have Crash.
I thought maybe he could climb it, like
Crash?
in gym.
Crash will do whatever you said. Well, he could try, but he's gonna have to do a lot of strength checks to do that because he's
I
stuck.
got a 16, but my strength I think is a -1.
All right, so 15 is not bad. Crash can help.
And then
So that's
Crash, come
also
help.
good. Crash will do whatever you say. Antoine doesn't necessarily follow your commands as much as Rowan's, but give me an animal handling roll to see if you can communicate to him what you want him to do.
Is that a 20? A D20?
Yeah, just give me a 20, and you should have it on your list of skills.
I got an 8.
Mhm. Do you have a
-1.
okay, so he doesn't really get it. You and Crash are pulling, and you're like, come on, and you like do one of these to him, and he goes with his arms.
Oh, the stupid ant. Oh, stupid ant. Now, did Lupe take my flight potion from me when I made it?
She did not.
I offered it to her. She did not. Okay.
Because
And I
wasn't
can't
what
get
she
it.
wanted.
I can't probably get it down to her.
You are able to pull, in between you pulling and Rowan's 16 strength that he got, it takes, I'm going to say it takes about 15 minutes.
Rowan can't breathe that whole
But
time.
finally, Rowan is like, oh, and you were conserving air. There was little pockets of air, but not much. And then all of a sudden you see his arms burst out and he's able to kind of climb with your help out of the hole. Now Antoine comes over to help because he'll listen to you.
Rowan, I cast fairy wire. Can we get the girls out? I can't do it myself.
Okay, so Francis and Lupe, we're gonna switch to you real fast.
Let's go, Lupe.
Because you've both been in the ground for the 15 minutes. Luckily, neither of you need to breathe. So that's not a problem.
I'm not hyperventilating. I'm just
Breathing for pansies.
Yeah, Lupe is hyperventilating, although she doesn't need to breathe and very rarely does anyway. But you can hear her next to you and muffled, but you can hear her having a panic attack. To the best of your knowledge, that's kind of what's going on. You can hear her. She's trying to move, but it's not working very well because you guys are pretty much buried alive. Lupe, you just absolutely are freaking out. You're like hyperventilating. You're trying to, I would say almost like convulsing, but you can't really move too much, which is even more frustrating and more scary because you can't move and you're freaking out. It's worse than just being in an enclosed space. It doesn't get any better the longer you're there, but after a few minutes, your mind starts to wander, almost like a defense mechanism a little bit. And all of a sudden you see, you don't know if it's a memory or if it's a dream. Maybe you're kind of dreaming. You don't sleep anymore ever since you can remember, but you do sometimes have these vivid day kind of dreams a little bit. And you're not sure if that's what this is or if it's a memory, but you see a blonde-haired woman, young woman, teenage years probably, sitting on a wooden fence, like a little fence, like waist-high fence, and kind of giggling and laughing, and you see flowers and a little garden, and you kind of you're in your mind, you're reaching out to her. You want to you you want answers, but this seems new to you. So you tell me, actually, this is the vision that's presenting itself in front of you. So what you're seeing, what do you want to do?
I'm inclined to go over and just hold her tight and laugh with her and put flowers in her hair. So I'm guessing this is calming me down a bit.
You are actually getting calmed down a little bit. You try to talk, but you can't speak, because you're not really there. But your mind it's almost like a little bit of a trick of the mind. And then that's kind of where you're at right now. Francis, you aren't freaking out as much. You're not really afraid of the dark at all. You actually prefer it. And so what's going through your mind is you're stuffed into this dirt, and Lupe kind of nails digging into your arm is about all you can feel next to you.
A lot of things going through my mind, but since this is going on YouTube, I don't want you getting demonetized.
I'd have to be monetized in the first place, so that's why.
The string of curses and just a string of curses and trying to get my arm up, just still trying to get it up. I'm just being really, really frustrated and a little stressed out because feeling all the dirt just holding you still is not a fun feeling. Starting to get a little claustrophobic. But not hearing Lupe hyperventilating anymore is both reassuring and concerning. But I know that she's still here, based on the nails digging into my skin. She's not, unconscious.
So that's where you guys are at as this whole thing is going on with Rowan and Cricket. Lupe, you're still in your dreamlike scene when you're just about to say something to this girl. You feel like you know her, but you can't put your finger on how or why you know her. And just as you start to say the name Sklara, Sclara, Sklara, you feel something grab your ankle and you're pulled down further.
No!
And all of a sudden you're not in dirt anymore and there's bright light. It's not actually that bright, but you've been in darkness for 15 minutes and you're kind of like blinded by light, but you're free.
I'm probably just like, Sklara, where am I?
And you hear a gruff voice go, "Not Sklara there, Missy, but don't you worry. Is there anybody else stuck up in there?"
Yes. Francis, Rowan, Cricket, my friends.
All right. Well, this might help. And you look, and for the first time, as your eyes start to adjust to it's kind of torchlight. It's not really that bright in here, but it was compared to what you saw. You're facing a very stout-looking dwarf, who is in a muscle t-shirt, and he's got a vest on that's strapped with sticks of basically these red sticks with fuses on them. It looks very cool, very much like dynamite on his vest.
Oh my God, is he basically Blackbeard?
He's got a red and brownish beard, and a blue handkerchief tied up around his head. And he goes, just here, stand back a little bit there, lady. Stand back, little lady. And he pulls one of the sticks out and pulls a cigar out from his mouth and lights the stick, and he throws it up into the hole you just came from. And then he turns his back and goes, fire in the hole. You then hear
That's one way to solve a problem.
boom. Francis, you actually do not take damage because the dirt is a pretty good insulator, but it blows everything loose that you are in. And you water slide your way down.
Oh, that's new.
Yes.
Now, do we see the hole up above?
Well,
The
unfortunately, it blows everything loose, including what you three are standing
Oh.
on.
Oh.
Roll like, is something fun? Oh.
So the three of you, all of a sudden, the ground underneath you just gives way. And the three of you plunge down. Rowan, this is like deja vu. Like you just got out of the dirt like 3 minutes ago, and now you're plunged back in. The three of you, Antoine, Cricket, well, four, Crash is there as well. All of you end up dropping down a good 15 to 20 feet. You are still in dirt. The two of them were already in it and they came out, but you guys are now in what just collapsed.
Mother of pearl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just got out. And so, Francis, you and Lupe
We still
now.
have the wires.
You do not have it anymore. Its spell is ended. Lupe and Francis, you guys are out now, and you're standing with this dwarf. And the dwarf goes, "You got anybody else in there?"
Yeah, we've got two others, and then a dog and a zombie ant. We'll explain later. So we've got 4 more up there.
Oh, well, just start digging in. And he starts plowing his kind of big, strong arms. He's got big, meaty dwarf hands. And he starts like punching into the dirt. Cricket, you feel a big, meaty hand around your ankle, and you all of a sudden get pulled out of the dirt. And kind of tossed a little bit. Oh, you guys brought a child down here? That's weird, but Rowan, well, Francis, give me a
You're rude.
Francis, give me a.
I will start making music with precipitation.
Okay, you can press this station. What are you gonna do? Music again?
Yeah, intense music.
Okay, so with that, it shouldn't be too hard. Francis, you kind of start digging in, and you pretty quickly feel Rowan's foot. And Lupe, you're able to. Well, Lupe, you're no good to anybody yet. You're still pretty shaken up. But once you kind of say, "I got somebody," the dwarf kind of plunges in with you, kind of almost shoulder deep, and he grabs a hold of what he feels Rowan and pulls him out. And Rowan, all of a sudden, you emerge as well into this lit room. Big pile of dirt behind you that you just got pulled out of. Cricket, you're laying on the floor as well. You go to get Crash, Cricket, but Crash is already out. He dug his way out already, and he's like shaking the dirt off of himself, even though he doesn't have fur.
And then he comes over and licks me with his metal tongue, and I'm like, Crash, that's not helpful.
Yeah.
Basically, as soon as she sees Cricket for confusion, she's gonna run over and just embrace her tight and just say, Sklara.
Okay, so you've embraced Cricket tightly, and you caught Crash in the middle of that, so it's like a Crash sandwich. And Crash is not sure what to do about this. Crash is like, yeah.
I'm gonna try to start digging out Antoine.
Oh God.
Okay.
Yeah.
Antoine, actually, you don't have to look far because you actually you start digging in and you meet him digging out because it's kind of his natural habitat to be in dirt.
Yeah. All right, come on.
Um,
And I go to
Boy.
do I see the dwarf that blew us out of freedom, I guess?
yeah, he's starting to look at y'all and he goes, "Why?" He goes, "What in tarnation are y'all doing up?" And then he sees Antoine come out and he grabs at a big Bowie knife from behind his belt, and he's like,
stop,
I'm like, hey.
stop. What's
He's
your
good.
name?
"I'm Razgard. I'm in
That's a
charge
cool
down
name.
here. Razgard Lead Shield."
Oh,
Razgard, that ant's already dead. So you can't kill it twice.
He just dug out. He's
I
not
don't know what
dead.
to tell you.
no, he's on our side. I'm his master temporarily.
Razgard kind of slowly puts the knife back into his sheath behind his back, and he goes, "I never seen anybody keep one of them as a pet."
I know it's that pet, but yeah. I say the name of the dwarf who sent us on this mission. What was his name again?
Did anybody write it down?
Jaffrock Lead Shield.
Yeah.
As Bob
Do you know
Beeblebop.
someone in the name of Jack Frog Lexio?
Jaffrock? Yeah, I know Jaffrock. He's my no good SOB brother.
And I thought making
This guy must be Razgard.
yeah.
Lucy's not saying that because she's still out of it.
Yeah. I give him the ant skull so he can
Mhm.
communicate with Lexio.
Okay. He goes, what am I supposed to do with this stupid thing?
Yeah, talk into it. Trust it'll work, just trust us.
Hello? Hello?
Mhm.
Anybody in this ant head? And he waits a minute, and then he hears, "Razgard, that you? Jaffrock? Yeah, it's me, you stupid SOB. You still alive? Of course I'm still alive. You didn't think these stupid bugs are gonna kill me, do you? What are you doing up there? Sitting around all the food, eating everything? You piece of garbage."
Feel bad for laughing.
"How many you got left up there?" And after a moment, you hear Jaffrock's voice come back, and he goes, "We got about 24. How about you?" And Razgard goes, "Me. That's it. There's me. That's all that's left down here. The ants have got everybody." You sent? Did you send these? Did you send these people? Well, they're kind of on their way through, so I asked them to get you this ant skull so we could talk. Whatever you do, don't take the ribbon off it. All right, whatever. All right, well, keep your skull on, and I'll talk to you next time I get a chance. You don't call me, I call you. No good piece of garbage. And he hangs up. All right, then. And he kind of does one of these because he's got a backpack on. Or at least you think it's a backpack, but he goes, "Well, come on." And he kind of extends his hand to you, Rowan, to help you get up off your knees where you were pulling Antoine out. Come on. And as he does that, you notice the backpack he's wearing is not a backpack. It's like an oak barrel.
Okay. Why?
But it's strapped to him like a backpack.
He's just carting around booze.
Oh, I didn't think that's booze.
Oh,
Powder.
Oh,
that would have been hilarious.
where are you taking us?
He's clever, I'll give him that.
Where y'all headed?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you all must be all right if my brother sent you, or at least helped provide for you. He's kind of a piece of work, but what are you going to do? You can't choose your family, you know what I'm saying? Plus, we mind Amber together, so that's one thing.
All right. Well, what I was just was to find you and we complete that goal.
You found
We're
me.
trying
Oh,
to
yeah.
find the cause of problems.
Hey, tell me, have you seen some kind of weird shard of strange power? This may have caused the ant to mutate.
I haven't seen anything. I don't even see much amber anymore. I saved everything I could from down here, but anytime I sent groups out to look, they never came back. I sent a group down to the next level. I sent 2 groups down the next level over time. None of them ever came back. It's just been me here. I sent my magic user up to the next level to try to make it back to my brother. I don't know where he went.
I'll hand him the belt buckle.
Oh, you know him. You know Juhash.
We ran into him, yeah.
We did
Oh,
not
good.
have-
He made it.
we
He
did
didn't
not have
make
the
it.
pleasure of meeting him in life.
Oh, son of a gun. Let me guess. Black eyes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. The ants got him. Once you're dead, the ants take control of you, and it's just like these. Anything that dies down here it's like they become one of the ants.
Huh.
Crooked, Lupe, are you still like freaking out a little bit?
Probably still not terribly lucid.
Okay, I go to Francis and I tell him, Rowan whispered this. You should probably not tell him that we dissected his friend. All right. So, yeah, we came across him. He attacked us. But we took care of him.
Mm.
And for some strange reason, his chest opened up and his skull. Don't know what
His
that was
chest and
about.
skull opened up
Yeah.
like some kind of mouth.
Probably. I've never seen something like that before. So yeah.
Well, where are y'all headed? I got to be honest. I'm kind of stuck on this level. I've been on the 3rd level for quite some time. Like I said, I can't go down because everybody I send down has died or hasn't come back. I'm assuming they're dead because I think there's more things down there. And I can't go up. But at least it's nice to hear that I'm not the only dwarf left in here.
What can grow? We can just retrace our steps.
We had to get blown out of the dirt. I don't think there's any going back that way.
Then we keep going down.
We already made it this far, and what we're looking for is if there's a nest, it's probably there. So
Yeah,
it's probably deeper down on level 1. So that's where we're headed.
Well, come on in. And he
Maybe
kinda-
let's go.
Lupe, are you up yet?
I'm kind of like coming to.
Okay. He puts a big meaty paw under your elbow and goes, "Come on, Lassie, come on. Your friend is a little shook up still, I think. She wasn't even in there when I blew it out."
Um,
God damn it. Sorry, guys.
I got nothing.
Razgard leads you guys through. The room you're in is kind of a cave-looking mine room. Something that's been mined out by hand. And then there's a tarp kind of covering a doorway that he pulls aside, and he goes, "Come on in," and brings you into another area. It's kind of a large room, probably maybe 20 by 25 or so. This too is not built out like the upper levels. It's more mined, so it's been dug out. It's decent. You're not feeling claustrophobic, Lupe, but it's been dug out and it's got wooden planks that you can see that have been arched to support it. So it at one time was probably a mountain that got dug out and they pulled amber out of it, and they were just using it for rooms now to continue. And then as you look around, Rowan, you're my investigator normally, but give me Give me a perception check.
Good perception. I do a quick scan around the room. Perception. Not today. 7.
7. All right. There's just a lot of rubble and stuff. You don't notice too much with your perception of 7.
Can I try rolling a perception?
Yeah, you could try. You guys come in as you're doing perception or looking around. He brings you guys in and there's some boulders. He says, "Take a seat." He's got a little fire going.
I got 19.
19. Francis, as you sit down on a boulder, you kind of look behind it and you notice that in the rubble there are pieces of dwarfs, like some arm, a foot. There's what looks like the back of a head, kind of about 20, like maybe 15 feet from where you're sitting. But at first sight, you wouldn't necessarily notice it because it's buried with some of the rocks and stuff on the floor. But you notice that there's pieces of dwarf around.
That could mean one of two things. You know, I'm not going to touch that one.
So,
I key everybody into it, but I'm not going to be the one to bring it up.
Razgard,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Razgard
was
pulls
gonna
his backpack off. I know what you're gonna ask for. Razgard pulls his backpack off and sets it down away from the fire. And you notice Francis, he's kind of closest to you when he sits down and moves it. And you notice that this barrel has a piece of string sticking out of the top of it.
Now that I'm going to bring up.
So he sits down for you guys to take a rest. So, and at that point, we're going to take a quick break. So let's take 5 and we will be back in a few minutes. We are back from break, and we left off with you guys taking a break around a campfire inside the mine on level 3 of the mine with Lieutenant Razgard, Ledge Shield, who you did run into. And I believe he just sat down a big old oak barrel that he took off his back with Francis, what you believe to be a wick coming out of the top of it.
That looks like a giant bomb.
Okay.
Did you say that, or are you just thinking it?
I say that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You damn straight. You got a good eye there, lady. And he slaps it on top, and he goes, "This here's Big Bessie.
I like the way you think.
She's my last resort, just in case."
Always
This
good
is
to
not
have a
fluffing, that's
plan B.
Don't let them take you down.
If you're going down and taking them down with you.
Yep. She's
Expect that.
about 5 gallons of ground amber.
Whoa.
Well, that is interesting. Did we not need a lot of amber for our plan?
Well, now you guys remember how much damage the little speck of amber did upstairs.
Yeah, we only just a little bit.
This thing will blow the mountain sky high.
So this is like having that ground amber, but in a 5-gallon bucket.
We should ask him.
Can we?
That's a lot
I
of
whisper to
info.
Lupe.
I can't
Lupe,
decide
do
if
we
it's
trust? We trust him to tell him our plan.
I think so. The other dwarfs were trustworthy. And
Rowan, do you want to tell him about our plan, our poison plan?
As Cookie told me that I do a quick insight check on him. I want to check what his alignment is. You know what that, Steve?
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, give me a roll.
Yeah. 16.
I mean, from what you can tell, he's good. he's a little bit all over the place in the way he talks and the way he's not as formal as his brother, obviously. But he did pull you all out of the dirt. So he's probably good. There may be a little bit of chaotic out of him because he pulled some of you out. He blew the rest of you out with dynamite, but he seems to be a good egg from what you can get from insight.
Just for curiosity's sake, you don't mind me to check for any bite mark, do you?
Bite mark? Like on me?
Yeah, just want to make sure.
I mean, he kind of does this. He's got his arms are exposed anyway, but he's like, you can go ahead, but I mean, I'm not dropping trowel for you. I don't know you that way.
Fuck.
I
I cast
you.
Mage Hand to roll up his legs. You want to make sure no bite marks in his legs or anything.
You don't see anything, and his eyes are normal. I mean, they're not black like the others.
All right, Cricket, go ahead. It's safe. He's a bit crazy, but yeah.
Oh,
he's-
I wanted
he's
you
safe.
to tell him.
Do what? Tell him the plan?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You guys got a plan? Is it to blow shit up?
Yeah.
Because I'm in for that.
Rowan, Rowan's our leader, and he's gonna tell you about it.
Oh,
Rowan,
shit.
tell
Oh,
him all about
okay.
it.
All right. So basically, we well, wait. We're here for the plan, right? Yeah. All right. So
We're gonna bait him, right?
Yeah, we're gonna bait them into the toxic cloud with the amber, and that cloud should kill them. But we're mainly gonna focus this on the queen. Have you seen the queen?
I have not seen a queen. I've seen like those 4 or 5 foot buggers that travel around. They look like regular ants, but just much bigger. I've seen those. I've stomped some of those out. I've seen the ones with the big spears that throw shit at you. I don't like those. They got these sharp star things they throw. I've seen them, and I've seen what they've done to some of my friends that they killed, and then they tried to like operate them like they were ants. That's not okay with me. And so when they sent them back in at me, I just I blew the sons of bitches up. I mean, you can't be a zombie if you're in pieces. That's what I say.
That's a good point. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna protect ourselves. Some of us don't need to do breathing. You don't need to worry about that part of it. And we're gonna protect ourselves so that we don't breathe. Shh, says don't worry. So that we don't
You
breathe
got
in the
zombies
dust,
here?
and it's gonna be poison. No,
And
we
that's
can just
all-
hold our breath for a long time.
Yeah. And plus, if we need to transport this, we got good old Anthony. Right, Anthony? You okay being at
Antoine.
second flight?
Antoine.
Right,
Basically,
Antoine?
we just need a way to deliver some poison amber to the queen.
What's that, Lupe? I can't hear you.
We need we just need a way to deliver some poisoned amber to the queen.
Mhm.
It goes, the whole place goes.
It's a good plan. I like your plan, but where you have poison, I prefer dynamite.
Well, we didn't want to blow up the whole mountain because there are other dwarves, including your son of a bitch brother.
And with the amber, it might make a chain reaction and blow the entire place up.
Yeah.
We don't know rock structure as well as you do to know if we'd be endangering ourselves as well or not.
That's true, but it would be one glorious way to go. That's what I figure.
I
Oh my
agree.
I like the way you think, yeah.
Okay.
Going out in a blaze of glory.
Yeah.
But listen, I've only been 7 for 200 years, and I would maybe like to be 7 for 200 more years, so I don't want to get blowed up right now. But if I had to go, getting blowed up like that would be pretty fun.
Well, you look pretty good because I'm 100 years old and I'm much older looking than you are.
Oh, sweetie pie, I could be your mommy.
He's not sure what to make out of that. It seemed like a weird, it seemed like a really weird, possibly innuendo coming from a little kid, and he's not sure how to take that. He's not.
Okay.
I waited 3 weeks.
How about we blow up the mountain as a very, very, very last resort?
All right. Well, you know what? Let's put that one in our back pocket.
Yeah, back pocket.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put the whole in that back pocket.
Wait,
Yeah.
could we go back the way we could go back the way we came and evacuate everybody and then blow up the mountain?
Well, unless you, I mean, there's ants that way too, I think.
We couldn't guarantee the destruction of the relic we seek.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if we can't go back to where
Yeah,
we
that's
came
true.
from because the bridge didn't collapse. So we can either find our way up or we can find our way down.
All
All
right.
right.
Well, if the ants
I'll-
are digging tunnels, we could
Do
probably
it.
use their tunnels to get out. That
Maybe
would
one tunnel.
it could pose some other issues. But if we make it to the nest, then chances are there's a ton of other tunnels going out.
I look to Lupe. Lupe, what does the compass say?
Spins and spins.
It's still
Still
spinning.
spinning, yeah.
Faster, slower.
Slower, but it is still spinning.
Okay.
Well, you know what? I'll wait on y'all. You guys got a plan. You try it out. But if that doesn't work, Big Bertha.
Okay.
Like we're gonna keep that in our pocket just in case.
You know what? How about you talk to your brother about this?
Get the
About Big
compass.
Bertha, okay?
My brother don't.
Lupe, what are your
My brother
Lupe,
don't
what are you
own
trying
me.
to say?
I was trying to say, if I'm holding the compass looking at it, downwards, it would be spinning like crazy. But if I tilted it with the arrow point
Down.
anywhere down, right, go.
All right. Down we go.
It only took you guys 3 weeks to think of that.
God damn.
I'm a little slow on the uptake sometimes. Okay, so pointing it that way.
How does that work?
Yeah, my brother don't own me. He thinks he's a bossy pants. He's like, oh, I'm the captain of the mining. But Captain Schmapton, he just sits up there and sorts amber. I'm the one that's down here digging with our guys, and they call me chief. I'm a lieutenant technically, but I let him call me chief. He don't know shit when it comes to explosives. I'm the guy, so we're not gonna let him in on Big Bertha plan because I already know he's gonna be like, Razgard, that doesn't sound safe.
Well, he kind of right because we will have a whole bunch of family and other dwarf up there beside your brother.
They're dwarves. Dwarves are tough stock. They can live through. They'll make it.
Can they live? Can they make through a giant explosion of a mountain?
I mean, the chances are good. I think I could make it. I think
Insight check.
I ain't blown myself up yet.
Insight check.
Well, like you said, we'll keep it in the back pocket, and if our plan
17.
doesn't work, then it will definitely be on the table for consideration.
All right then. You're 50-50 maybe, Rowan. 50-50.
And Rowan does this too.
Yeah.
All right. He gets up and just start walking around. He's done.
Well, I do have. I mean, I got. He's got a chunk of meat that he puts over the fire and starts to cook. And he's like, y'all are more than happy to at least rest here before you keep going. I don't know how long it's been since you rested, but at least here, I'm pretty sure there's nothing coming in here. I've been able to keep this secure for quite some time.
He's saying a half down. All right.
A long rest.
Yeah. I'll eat a little something and I'll take a long rest.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a look outside of the room where we were pulled out of the dirt and, look around, see if I can find any way deeper into the mountain. And if not, then yeah.
You're able to go. Are you going back to where you came in, or are you going the other way?
I'm gonna go the other way.
Okay. There's a little bit of a hallway, like kind of a tunnel at the end. And it goes to another room where there's not, there's no other doors. It basically goes into a dead end room, but there is a hatch in the middle of the floor.
I'll go back and key everybody in on it. It seems the only way deeper down is there's a hallway down that way and a dead end room. There's a hatch down in the middle of it. So hope nobody's afraid of ladders.
Yeah, no, it's ladder. Yep, the ladder goes straight down. That's the best way. There used to be another stairwell, but it was on the other side of the cave in. It's been gone for at least a year that I can remember.
What happened to it? They got blown up.
Well, these dang things dig like nobody's business, and they start digging into some of the walls, and it just caves stuff in. That's what it was. They were probably digging around over by the stairs that you guys fell through, and that's why it was so loose.
Oh, all right.
You gotta watch your step around here. You want to make sure that you really got solid footing.
How far down do those ladders go?
That hatch goes to the next level. Goes level 2.
Level 2.
Yeah.
How far have you ever been down?
Back in the old days, I've been down the whole way. We used to go down. We'd collect all the amber, sort it up on 5, and then we'd send it down all the way down to 1, and then take it out into towards the western cities, and then we'd sell it. I mean, we used to make a killing. Now I'm lucky to find something to eat.
In the second floor. Wait, actually, do you have some kind of old map of this place?
No, I don't have a map. No, I mean, it's just I kind of know it by heart, And to be honest, I've been trapped on this level now for almost 2 years. I think I've been in here. I've been trying to count the days, but it's not very good. It's been a long time. So between the ants digging and collapses, I can't be sure that I even know what it looks like down there anymore.
All right, so he still has the skull that connects to his brother, right?
He does.
Okay. I'm gonna take that skulky back.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Anyone else have anything to add? Okay. Well, I'm gonna take my long rest.
That's
I'm
why
already sleeping.
Yeah, Cricket's crashed. Right, she's right out cold by the fire. She's snuggled right up with Crash. So
I'm doing a bit of pacing and thinking, trying to figure out some kind of plan. If our plan doesn't work, so we don't have to go straight to kaboom.
Sweet Bay finds making
Yeah.
very comforting.
And if we do have to resort to Big Bertha, there's a way to make it safer. Like if there's any way that Rowan can get more ants, they can dig tunnels to the outside so all that pressure can escape, similar to like a barrel of a gun, but instead of having all that pressure inside and blowing out, it have places to go.
Okay.
I'm not sure how well that would work, but it's an idea. some long rest.
Yeah, you guys don't need to set a guard because he's here. And I mean, if you trust him, you don't need to set a guard. It's up to you guys. But he's here and it's relatively safe.
I still have Antoine. DM, how long of the 24-hour spell is on Antoine? So we're taking another long rest.
Well, you got Antoine after your last long rest.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I would say this is long rest is gonna be about 8 hours. Thinking of when you got Antoine. You're probably at about 14. So you're probably a little bit past halfway. At the end of your long rest.
Yeah, and Antoine gonna keep guard also.
Okay. Oh. He looks at you, Francis, and he goes, those are some mighty fine pea shooters you got there. I don't see those very often. Most people like to use hammers and blades around here.
Yeah. Well, in my line of work, they hold themselves up pretty well.
What line's that?
It depends.
You can't be a
Whoever's got
miner.
coin and wherever there's monsters. Wherever there's
all right.
monsters and coin to be made, I'm there.
Okay, so you're a bit of an exterminator then.
You could say that.
Excellent. All right. He just goes ahead and he starts cutting some meat off of his thing. He kind of says you guys are welcome to do it, but it's definitely like the piece of meat he has, it's not really much of meat, and it's obvious that it's like the leg of one of these ant creatures that he's cooking over a fire.
Gotta do what you gotta do to survive. Banana if it is.
So you guys take a long rest, so you're all back up. I think you guys were pretty much good on hit points now, but your spell slots, which you have used some spell slots, are all good. Take some ant leg. Cricket.
Thanks.
All right. Are you having it before you? Well, you fell asleep. Are you having it for breakfast? Or did you eat it before you went to bed?
Yeah, it's breakfast of champions.
Okay. Cricket, he cuts you a little piece and hands it, and he kind of cuts some other pieces and puts them down on the rock next to the fireplace for people, and you grab one. It's pretty tasty, actually. I mean, it's roasted meat. It's not bad. He's been roasting it all night. It's actually not bad. And Antoine sees you do it, and Antoine reaches down and grabs a piece, and he puts it in his mouth.
Oh yeah, Antoine. Great.
He
We'll
doesn't.
see what
He
kind of
doesn't know any
effects that
better.
has.
He's not very bright.
Good job, Antoine. All right. Oh, I also take a piece of that leg.
Okay.
Oh shit, it's not that bad. All right. Is there
Wonder if
anything-
the ants bleed.
What's that?
Do these ants bleed by any chance?
Well,
Or is it just goop.
it's like a greenish goop. You saw that up on the first level when they were cutting one open. For you especially, Francis, it's not very appetizing.
Mm,
It's not what you would be seeking.
yeah.
And to be honest, it's been a few days now, actually.
Yep. If it means not feasting on the people around me, I'll go for the ant chow.
You could probably get away with maybe a little bit of ant meat, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's not the same.
I was gonna cut my hand into a bowl for you, but Lupe would not like that.
I don't want to get a taste for you guys' blood. That just feels
Yeah.
weird.
Maybe Rice wouldn't mind donating a little.
So
Maybe a little.
you guys kind of have whatever. I mean, it's not much of breakfast. He doesn't have a lot of food here because he's been here on his own.
Oh,
But
Steve,
he's got the grass, or not the grasshopper, the ant leg. Yeah,
DM, can I try a spell for Francis?
sure. What spell?
Instead of healing word, I'm gonna use my ring and do mealing word.
Mealing word. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Roll me a d4.
Oh, that's the pyramid.
DM,
I got a 3.
Okay. Francis, you are satiated for another 3 days.
Yes. I did it.
I go over and just hug Cricket really tight, not say much. Just
Rowan, what's up?
Oh yeah, since I took my long rest, I'm changing my spell around.
Okay. Well, no time like the present if you're going to get moving. I haven't heard much scurrying around there over the last few hours since y'all been taking a rest. He hands a little leather pouch to you, Francis, and he goes, I was working on these while y'all were sleeping, so sometimes I just need to keep myself busy anyway.
I'm gonna take a peek inside. I'm
Wait.
intrigued.
There are he utilized some of the empty casings you had, and there are 6 bullets, but that you now have 6 amber bullets because he carved
Ooh.
amber into and put it into the casing.
It's awesome.
DM, are these ant creatures humanoid?
They are humanoid, yes.
Okay.
So, all right, what would you guys like to do? You've had your breakfast and you've had your long rest.
I say if everyone's got the potions and spells together, we should head out.
Let's head down.
All right.
Yeah.
You guys go, Francis is able to lead you guys to the next room that she checked out last night. And there's just it's almost like a wooden pallet it's a cover over the hatch that goes down.
Oh, let's do it. I open the hatch and start heading down.
Okay.
And he knows it's not booby trapped this time?
The hatch isn't, because the hatch is him. He put the hatch on to keep him from.
Okay.
Did anyone want to send Antoine down?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Rowan, he
Yeah.
looks at you before you go in. Razgard does, and he goes, Rowan, here you go. And he hands you a little, looks like about a golf ball, but it's black and shiny, and it has a little wick on it. It's like a mini bomb almost. He hands it to you, and he goes, if you need help, set this off. And if I can hear you, I'll know to come down.
Okay. With or without Botra?
What's that?
With or without Botra?
Oh, I'm bringing Big Bertha with me. He goes everywhere I go.
That's fair.
All right. So my back pocket. I do a quick prayer. All right. Yeah. All right. So I send Antoine down. No, yeah, Antoine down.
Okay.
Yeah, whoever can go after him.
I'll go next.
All right, Cricket, Lupe.
Oh yeah, I'll go.
I'll go behind Lupe.
It's a ladder that drops down about 10 feet through like a tunnel, but then it opens up into a little bit of a room as you go through this vertical tunnel. and then it opens up into a room where you've basically all set up. So
This is tunnel. All right, Lupe, are you doing all right? Oh, Smith, you got a map. Lupe, are you doing all right?
I've been better.
so that's where you guys find yourselves.
Damn, right. It's a little bit weird.
Rowan is here, Antoine, Francis, Cricket, Crash, and Lupe. What would you
All
like to
right.
do next?
All right. Me and Antoine. Okay. Me and Antoine are going to move like what? That statue laying down all the way down there.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna go over there. Yeah, we just got out the area.
All right, there you go.
All right, what is it like? Is it kind of like dwarf statue?
Yeah, it's not really, it's not a statue. It's kind of like the remnants of one of the dwarves.
Okay.
This here is a statue that's been carved by, you could tell, looks like dwarf carving, which you saw a lot of up on the 5th level. But it looks like if there were dwarves down here for quite some time, they may have carved it and kind of before dying. If these dwarves look almost like they died of
And
starvation.
What's that blue part? Just a part we can't see?
Yes,
Is that? Okay.
because you got to turn the
not-
corner to see that.
All right,
Not an underground lake
It is not an underground lake.
that we know of.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a quick perception check to see if I see like any survival check to see if I see any like tracks, like any ant creature was here.
All right, give me the roll.
13.
There's a lot of movement tracks here. It looks like there could be some ant ones, but there's also like door footprints, things like that too. You know, this was a heavy trafficked area, probably of part of the mine. It looks almost like this used to be, this is carved more. It's not like the dirt mine of the last few levels. This looks a little bit more like level 5 did. So it's possible that this used to be like another sorting area kind of thing.
Can we just walk down and go around the corner, or do we have to do initiatives?
If you want. Do you want to?
Yeah, I just want to run around the corner.
All right, there you go.
I'll go with her.
I guess I'll follow cautiously behind.
DM, as I was walking, what's that thing to my right? That this like big area.
This
No, okay, my left, to the left.
over here.
It's on the edge of the map. Yeah.
This is that's dirt
No. Oh no, go up.
here.
Go up. Yeah, there.
This
What
is
was that?
blocked. It's blocked off.
Okay, all right.
It's like a cave in. Yep.
Okay.
Probably those stairs that he talked about.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I'll follow the group.
Yep, they've been. Lupe, what'd you say you're going?
I said I'll cautiously follow behind.
Hesitantly.
I'm right about a little bit further back. Well, maybe there's fine. Yeah, there's fine.
I don't want to just stay around the sarcophagus. Let's go.
I agree.
All right, Cricket, you run
Excellent.
around the corner
Great.
and are face to face with 2 ant warriors with their double pointed glaives and their throwing stars.
I've been waiting for this all day.
You catch them by surprise, Cricket, so you get a free action before we go into initiative.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna do Ray of Sickness, but I'm gonna do Day of Sickness.
Nice.
Ooh.
Day of Sickness. Okay. Which one?
I swear. The one on the left.
The one on the left. Okay. So this one.
I don't care.
Okay. So this one.
You know,
What's your Ray of Sickness do normally?
let me look real quick on my thing here.
Okay.
Yeah. DM. Quick
My
question.
ray, sorry, my ray of sickness is a ray of sickening greenish energy. 2d8 poison damage, and they have to do a Constitution saving throw, and it keeps being poisoned until the end of my next turn.
Okay. Well,
Except I'm doing it at level 2, so I get another 1d8.
so 3d8 poison. What's going to happen is your Day of Sickness is 3d8 poison if they fail the con save, but it's for the whole day, not just for until your next turn. So basically, for the next 24 hours, that creature has to make a con save every turn or take damage. And he's looking really
Excellent.
green at the gills, almost like wants to throw up.
Yeah, I know
So,
the feeling.
And at that point, roll for initiative.
Oh, golly goodness.
I got a 13.
14.
5. Oh, then you may go for Antoine too.
Yes. No, he'll go with Antoine. Will go with you.
Damn. Oh, and he rolled natural 20. All right. All
Um,
right. Yeah, cool.
Lupe.
At 60.
Lupe.
Bueller.
Yeah. On. Okay.
Is the DM here?
I'm here.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay. So
My stuff cut out.
no, that's fine. The first guard who you hit is going to go. The first thing he's going to do is have to roll a con save, which he fails. So, Cricket, give me 3d8 roll.
Okay. We got a 6. We got a 2. And we got another 2. So 10.
So 10 points of damage. Okay. Now he is going to get to go, and he is going to use his throwing star at you. And that is that's a 14, which is a hit.
Is he rolling at disadvantage though because he's poisoned?
He did not roll a disadvantage, but good point. That is 11, which is a miss because of his disadvantage. So he is going to move up and come after you, Francis, with his pole arm.
Yeah, that's fair.
And he misses as well because he's at disadvantage
Hell yeah.
because of the sickness. And that brings up Lupe. It is your turn.
I see my cricket making attack, so I'm gonna step up. Is my crossbow ready?
Okay, you're gonna have to, you're not, well, you might be able to hit the first guy that moved up, but you're around a corner from the second guy right now.
What's that?
I said the second guy is not in your line of sight right now, but you could probably hit the first one.
Okay. I will attempt to do that. That is a 15.
That just misses.
Nope. All right. That's it for me.
Okay. Francis, your turn. You are
All right.
face to face with this dude.
I'm gonna try and stab him this time.
All right.
I got an 8, and then the attack bonus. It would be a +4, so that would have been 12.
That's a miss. They're pretty mobile. They're pretty dexterous. And they're spinning those glaives around on all four hands. So you kind of reach out to try to stab him, and he just kind of blocks it with his glaive.
Great. I'm assuming I only get one attack with the dagger.
You do, yeah. Cricket, that means it's your turn.
I'm back up. Okay, I'm gonna do the day of sickness on the other one.
Okay.
I got an 18.
All right. That is a hit. So he's gonna have to do that on his turn. Anything else you want to do? Crash.
Did he do a con? Oh, he didn't.
He has to con
do
save
you
on
need
his
me
turn.
to do the? You need me to roll for the damage though?
No, because he has to.
Oh,
That's on
okay.
his turn. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha. Crash. I don't want in the fight quite yet.
Okay.
I don't want him to get hurt.
So is now the
He's very
second
big.
ant's turn, and he's gonna come up, and now it's his turn. So he's going to roll a con save. That is, let me see their Constitution +1. That's a 17. So that is a pass. So he is not poisoned right now. And he's gonna take a swing at you. That is a 13, which barely misses. You just block it. You kind of do a little somersault over his glaive as he swings, but he gets another swing with it. He swings it back, and that is a nat 20. So he is going to do double damage.
Did Crash take the action he held?
In a moment.
All right.
That is 11 plus 2 is 13 points of slashing damage.
That's a lot.
Yeah, he kind of came at you with this thing, and you did a little somersault over it, but then he just continued and circled around 360 degrees and got you as you landed. Sliced you right up above, right in the back above your butt.
I'm here for that.
Now Crash can take his held action. What?
He's gonna do biting.
Okay. Give me an attack roll.
Oh, got an 11.
He misses. He goes to bite, but this thing, all he does is bite the thing's spear, and it's not enough to do any damage. Rowan, you are up.
Crash, you did such good frying.
Okay, two things. One, I'm gonna snap my finger and make a light, and I'm gonna like move it towards the ant creature. Do they react in any way?
They do not.
Do not react. So that was always my action. Antoine, fuck them up. and I sent Antoine to attack. Am I bonus action or interaction?
That's his action. You get a bonus action still.
Oh, okay. You know what? Yeah. I'll end my turn. I'll just have Antoine attack.
Okay, give me an attack roll.
14, and he has a soul sword, right?
Yep. He has the pole arm. He has the double pole arm that they have.
Hold on.
Yep.
All right. What the hit dice for that?
The
damage dice.
The damage dice is a D8, but he missed the first one. He gets 2 attacks though, because he gets 2 hits with that.
All right. 15 plus the stat. Do I need to bring out the marching manual for the zombie stat?
No, well, I'd say for him it's going to be a +1.
Okay, so 16.
That is a hit. The first one got blocked, but the second one got through. So it's a 1d8 plus 2 damage.
Okay. 6 damage.
All right, that's with the +2.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Doesn't work. All right. DM, quick question. If I replace my animate death spell, will he go away? Oh no.
If you do what?
If I, like I said, I'm switching out my spells. If I get rid of my animate death spell, will Antoine go away?
No, you can animate more than one. Oh, you mean if you got rid of it? Yeah, it doesn't matter because you cast it yesterday and it lasts for 24 hours. So it doesn't matter if you didn't prepare it today.
All right, cool. All right. Yeah, that's it. That is my turn.
Okay. It's the first ant's turn. He has to roll. That is an 11. He missed 11 plus 1 is 13. So he saves actually. Or no, that's 12. He does not save. So he needs to take another 3d8 damage, Cricket.
Can't find it. 3, 5, 4.
All right, 12.
Yep.
Okay, so he takes 12 points of sickening damage. He looks like he's got the flu really bad. He's looking real poisoned right now, real sick. But he's gonna try to swing at Antoine. That is, well, he has to do it twice. He misses because he's at disadvantage because he's poisoned. And his second time, he also misses. So that's his turn. Lupe, you are up. You're still in the back quite a bit.
Yep, aiming my crossbow at that ant on the left.
Yep.
Misses. And I'm going to reach out my hand to Cricket and say Sauna. And healer 8.
Oh, thank you.
Excellent. All right, Cricket, you're at 21.
I feel so strong now.
Francis, your turn.
All right. I got a 17.
That is a hit. Or what are you hitting with?
I'm gonna use my revolvers this time. All right. That's a 2 and a 7.
Okay. So
And then the attack bonus, I have yet to add that.
Yep.
So I add the attack bonus to both rolls, I'm assuming?
yes.
All
Yep.
right. So 2, 7. So it'd be a 7 and a 12.
All right, so 19 on the guy in front of you, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's gonna be it for him. So what does it look like when you finish him off with your 2 revolver shots?
Oh golly. I think I just shoot both of his arms off, and all that horrid goop inside and just starts pouring out, and he falls over in a puddle of just gross viscera. Because I want his head, so I'm not gonna
Alright.
hit the heads.
He's gone. He's dead. He just
Nice.
topples over with green goop pouring out of 2 of his armholes.
Yes.
Excellent.
Wonderful.
Cricket, it's your turn.
Yes, it is. All right, I'm gonna try the same thing. The Day of Sickness on the other guy.
Well, you already did
Because
cast it. He so it landed. He just has to re-roll every turn.
Oh, I thought that it didn't hit. I'm
No,
sorry.
because it lasts for the day. It hit. Your hit landed. It was
Gotcha.
just his con save.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna try. Well, I guess I'm gonna go. Does anybody else need healing?
No.
Okay.
Good.
I'm gonna do the melt acid arrow on him then.
Okay.
And oh, I got a 10.
Yep. If you fire it, this green arrow, just flowing liquid arrow, appears in front of your hand, and you kind of push it out towards him, but he's able to kind of sidestep it with his weapon and with his forearms and his quick movement, and it just hits the wall and kind of sizzles a little bit as it drips down the wall. Anything for Crash?
Crash is gonna try to bite him.
Okay.
And he got, oh, Crash, he got a 9.
Yeah, he missed as well again. He went to try to
Yeah.
bite, and instead this thing stepped aside and kicked Crash in the head with one of his feet.
Oh,
Oh, it's getting personal now.
Crash.
And now it's the ant's turn. He failed this ant failed the con save. So roll the 3d8.
All right. My best part of my day. A 1, a 2, oh, and a 7.
So 10.
Yep.
So 10 points of poison damage. All right. And he is now poisoned for this turn. So it is his, so he's going to be at disadvantage now. So he's swinging at Crash, and he misses because he's at disadvantage. And he misses the second time as well. Rowan, your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna snap my finger. Actually, I'll mess off Synthos, and I'm casting Tone the Dead on the one that's still standing.
Okay.
So, 8 damage, 8 necrotic damage.
Okay. So all of a sudden you snap your fingers and we hear bong, bong, like this bell sound that vibrates. And with each vibrate, this ant warrior kind of vibrates with that sound. And you can see like necrotic damage happening to the outside of his exoskeleton. And he takes, what did we say? 8?
8 damage, 8 necrotic
Points.
damage.
8 points of necrotic damage. All right. Antoine?
Yeah, Antoine is going to attack with both turns. Oh, wow. First attack is a natural 20.
That's a hit.
Uh, 10.
All right. 10 slashing damage. Antoine takes his and he spins it around, not nearly as adept as the live guys, but he spins it pretty good, and he comes up and takes off one of the arms. So now this guy's only
Ooh.
got 3 arms.
Attaboy.
Nice.
What's it called? Extra attack or the second attack?
Second attack, yeah.
Second attack. Oof. I think 11.
Yep, that's a miss. Unfortunately, Antoine tries the exact same move, which would have hit, except there's no arm there anymore, and he just swings it past no arm.
All right.
He's a creature of habit.
Okay.
Lupe.
Yeah, I'm at turn.
Yep, Lupe, you're up.
Okay. I will attempt my crossbow one more time.
All right, I'm gonna have to move you a little bit to about here.
And I'm gonna fail again. And then I'm gonna healing word. I think Cricket's the only one who needs it.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. That's 10 more for you.
Okay, she takes 5, which is all she's at her total, which is 26. All right, so
Thank you.
Francis, your turn.
We're going with the firebolt this time. Do I
Okay.
get 1 or 2 attacks with firebolt?
1, because it's a spell.
I got an 18.
That's a hit.
All right. And since it's 2d10, I got a 3 and a 7, so that would be 10. 10 fire damage.
All right, and you just fire this fire spell at him, blazing, hits him, and just kind of like starts to roast him, and his black eyes like melt from the inside out and start to drip down the outside of his skeleton, and then like he just kind of goes limp and falls over, and he is dead.
Nice. I want
You
this
did it.
spells.
That's double kill shots for you, Francis.
Oh my! I don't think that's ever happened before.
I think this is the first time you ever hit with both revolvers.
Oh,
Okay, that too.
All right.
I'm taking the heads so that we can bring them back.
Okay, you can take the heads. What would you like to do now?
I'm actually, Francis, can I examine those heads right quick?
Sure.
All right, I'm gonna look at the head of these ants. This might be like a nature check or something, but look inside the eye. Do they look like they could be sensitive to sunlight?
Give me an investigation or a medicine, whichever's higher for you.
They're both the same. All right. Okay. 8.
8. It's kind of tough to tell with an 8 roll, mainly because these are not human eyes, so you're not really familiar with how insect eyes work.
Lupe, can you check out these eyes if they could be sensitive to sunlight?
Sure. What would that goal be?
Probably medicine for you.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Make that a 21.
21. You kind of play with it a little bit. You kind of flash some light in front of him. You still got one of them's on fire anyway, and so you kind of use the firelight a little bit to see it. It doesn't seem like these creatures use their eyes as their main sense.
Likely they use their antenna.
All right, thank you. All right. So I keep on going ahead with Anthony.
And Antoine. His feelings are starting to really get hurt, Rowan. It's like the third time you've called him Anthony. Okay, he's trying hard, Rowan. All right, he just wants to be known for who he is.
And with
I
that hit like
respect you
that,
for who you are, Antoine.
yes. If anything happens, I will actually have a short funeral for you.
Oh,
All right, you guys are gonna keep going around the corner.
Yeah.
yeah.
And they're like, surprise, huh? There's more of us.
What are
Oh,
those dwarfs?
Grand.
Those are dwarfs, from what you can tell.
Are they angry dwarves? Because they're red.
All dwarfs are angry dwarfs.
I'm guessing
Yeah.
their eyes are black.
And they're gray.
Well,
Good.
red circle's an easy way for me to put bad guy.
Yeah.
More zombie dwarves. Great.
Whoops.
Oh shit, I thought I could turn on dead.
Zombie dwarfs. Zombie dwarfs.
All right, what
Okay.
I'm gonna say the same thing, Rowan, that I gave Cricket. You catch these dwarves off guard a little bit, and so I'll give you a free action before anything.
Or just to Okay, so that's free. Okay. I will pick up my shield, and in the back of my shield, I am reading inscription on the back. And bright day and blackest night, no evil shall escape her might. Beware her power, mistress of light. And I'm casting turn undead.
Okay, go ahead and cast
Yeah, I think isn't that like a saving throw, right?
the saving throw. Yep. It should. I think it's wisdom, right?
Yeah, it's wisdom. Oh, they gotta beat my build DC.
Yeah, I got it. 15. The first one beats it. Got a 17. The second one does not.
Hey.
So I believe he has to run as far away from you as he can get, right?
Yeah.
All right, so this guy disappears. He
Okay.
turns and runs the other way, but this guy does not. He
Right.
he rolled a 17, so
All right. I send Antoine. Yeah, Antoine. Whew. Antoine, get him.
all right. I'm gonna say go into initiative.
Okay.
Give me another initiative roll because this is a different battle.
Wait, but doesn't Antoine get a free action though? So you're
No,
right.
just you did.
Okay.
I had an 18.
16.
Whoa, Cricket.
Ooh. Cricket is thirsty for blood.
Yeah.
Hey. Okay.
11.
All right, what did you get, Rowan?
23.
Nice.
DM.
Yeah.
What is my dexterity score? Is it 19?
Your dex, I've got it right. I've got it actually in my thing here. It's your dex is not a 19 because your dex isn't your highest. Your wisdom, I believe, is your highest. You have
Okay, it's looking all right then. All right.
so you're either way, you're gonna go first with
Yeah.
Antoine.
Yeah. Well, I got 19.
Okay.
All right, so it's my turn first. Okay. I am.
You and Antoine are first.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna shoot between the ribs of. I'm gonna shoot above the head of Antoine with my light crossbow. Yeah. Attack roll. A 13.
That's a miss.
Action. I'll send Antoine to attack.
Okay.
Attacking. That's a 4. That also missed.
Yep, that's a miss as well. But he gets a second
And
shot.
I'll do interaction. Yeah. Interaction. I told my allies there's one zombie on the run and one zombie attacking us.
Yeah.
And my turn.
And yeah, Antoine gets a second turn, remember. He gets 2 attacks.
Oh shit. Yeah, thank you. Hey. 16.
Just misses.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
these dwarves were wearing armor when they died.
Okay, good point. All right, yeah. Interaction, I did that, and I am my turn.
Okay, Cricket, you're next.
All right, I'm gonna cast Tasha's Caustic Brew.
Okay.
Oh, for crying out loud! I got a 7.
Yep, that's a miss.
Yeah, I know it.
Crash. Anything for Crash?
Does he have armor all over? Does he have any?
Well, no, they have some armor on, but not. I mean, he's not
Oh, okay.
completely in a suit of armor.
He's gonna go for a bite.
Okay, give him a roll.
He got a 15.
He just misses. He was close, but no cigar. Francis, you're up.
All right, I go in revolvers this time.
Okay.
I got a 14 and a 3.
Okay, the 3 definitely misses, but what's your 14 plus your modifier, right? What's your
Yeah,
modifier?
14. The 4 is a +5.
So 19. So that's a hit.
All right. And that would be 1d10, and it's a 2.
Okay. Well, it still hits. It grazes him, but it still hits. Now it's his turn, and he's right here next to Crash and Anton. So he's gonna hit Crash first.
No,
and
Crash.
that is a hit.
No.
And he does. He has a big war hammer.
Oh shit.
Oh no.
And he does 18 points of damage.
I don't like you.
Crash just laying there. Crash, I think Crash has got 2 hit points left. But that's his turn.
You monster.
Lupe, it's your turn.
Lupe.
I'm feeling we're just not work on constructs. Well, I'm gonna try with my crossbow again.
Okay.
18, huzzah!
That's a hit.
Okay. That is a whopping 6 points of damage.
Let's take it. All right.
So,
So you find a home in between the armor with one of your crossbow bolts.
he is undead. That means he is not only bleeding because of my deep incision, but I also do an additional 1d6 damage.
Yes, because you have a specialty in undead, correct?
Ew, so that's an additional 6 damage.
Okay, so
I rolled full damage on that one.
all right, so that goes in, but then it does even more damage than you thought it would do. Rowan, your turn.
Okay, seeing this monster being crashed almost to death, Rowan goes to rage, start running towards him. He'll command Antoine to do a grapple on him.
Okay, give me a roll, strength roll for Antoine.
+1, right? Oh, just a regular
+2 for him.
All right, let's see. 18.
Okay, let me see what this guy's gonna get. And plus, that gets him. He's got him grappled.
All right. Okay. So I'm going to run up to him with my mace and charge him with magical energy, almost kind of like a smite. And I am casting inflict wounds on him.
Okay,
Yeah. Do I attack with advantage?
you do because he's grappled.
Okay. Wow. Okay. 19.
That's a hit.
Okay. I am doing this at inflict wound at second level. Okay. Sorry, guys. Guys, just give me a minute.
No problem. Give me.
$27 damage.
All right. What does it look like when you smash this dwarf? Because that's more than he had left.
Okay, I've not used my mace. I'm gonna United States smash this. My fist begins to glow like Iron Fist with magical energy, and I just do a massive boom right in the head.
Yep, and he just explodes like a watermelon.
Okay, I run over to Crash, and healing word Lupe says won't work on things, but thankfully I have healing work.
You do have healing work. Yeah, so give me a roll for healing work, which would be the same as healing word, but with your
18.
tools that you pull out of your bag.
18.
Yeah, no, you should. You just have. You don't have to roll a damage. You just or a hit. You just have to give me the amount that you heal.
Oh, what one do I roll for that?
And it should be in your. It should be part of your spell. Healing
No,
word.
well-
What's healing word? Is it D1D4
Yeah,
or
but I don't-
D6?
I don't have.
It's a 1d4.
Lupe, do you have that one? Because I didn't put it in my thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
Lupe. What is it? A 1D4?
1d4 plus your spellcasting ability modifier.
Right.
Okay.
So it's 1D4 plus 4.
okay, so it's 6.
Extra d4 for each slot above level 1 that you use. So if you want to cast it at second level.
Yeah, I'll cast it at second. So it'd be 6 plus 2.
All right, so that brings him up to 10 hit points, which from 2. So he's at his half, which is not bad. He's looking a little bit better. He's up on his feet again.
Poor Crash.
I'm gonna go over and hug him.
And he goes,
I also want to remind you there's one more undead dwarf nearby.
Yeah, he took off down the tunnel hallway. You don't seem to hear or see him. And so that's the point where we're gonna stop for tonight. And we'll pick up when you guys can try to track this other dwarf that you pushed away with your spell. So
should we do a rest, guys, so that we can get some of our slots back?
you can't do a long rest right now because it's too close to your last one.
I know. Could we
Then-
do short?
Most of you don't get slots back on a short rest. You just get hit points.
Okay.
Gotcha. So we will
All right.
pick up in pursuit of the other undead dwarf next week. So for everybody here at Roll Again, have a great week, have a good night, and keep playing.